Okay. If you're new to the Salesforce platform, I will give you the initial instructions so you can actually get started on your own. So, for those who are interested in the Salesforce training, I'm excited to have you. So tonight I have with me Micah Noel, and he's actually going to follow along as I give him instructions as to what he needs to do in order to get started. So the first thing he'll do is that we'll go to trailhead.salesforce.com. Just pause a sec. So trailhead.salesforce.com, right? And you will sign up. Since you don't have an account as yet, you'll sign up for a new account. Now, Mike has already logged into his Google account. This is one of the easiest ways to actually get started on Salesforce instead of creating a fresh Salesforce account. And what he will do is that he'll click on the Google icon and yes, he will select the Gmail account that he wants to associate with his profile. And right here, you can see your profile URL is actually available even when you once you start to get signed up, but I'll also show you another way to get it. So we'll continue. If you want, you could add a profile pic later on. Click next, and we'll put for company name, we'll put Caribbean Coding Academy. And for role, click on role. We're not going to put a job title. We're going to only put the ones that are required. So for role, you'll put administrator. For relationship to Salesforce, you put partner. For region, you put Grenada. Come on. And you're going to check the box. Yeah, once you select Grenada, you don't have to select a state. So you're gonna check the box. It says by checking the box, I'm agreeing to the Salesforce program agreement, and then you click done. So check the box, and then click done. And what Salesforce would do is that it would recommend like a a first option Salesforce learning pathway, like some lesson to tell you a little bit more about Salesforce. Now, because we actually training you and providing support for the administrator um, version of this pathway, you can take your time and read through and probably do the trailhead and basics, but you don't have to. Now, in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see Micah's profile pic actually that is pulled from his Google account. So Micah, click on your profile pic on the top right-hand side. And where it says profile, select profile. And your trailblazer.me. If you see there's a like two-page icon next to it, and that's to copy your profile. So at whatever point in time I would need this profile information from you, you could actually send it to me, and you can go back to the trailhead home. So on the top, yes, in the top left-hand side, you tab over there. And I'm going to explain to you now what pathway you're going to follow with just a few more instructions. So if you click on credentials, go to certifications, and if you scroll down, what you're going to notice is that there are different study options. Don't go too far. Come back up just a little. So you're going to notice that you have certification under a few different options. So each of these phases is like a study pathway. We'll just click on two. You'll look at the Salesforce Architect. So the picture that's above Salesforce Architect here, just click on that, and you'll see that they have a few certifications on it. Yeah, go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, so these are the certifications, and these are the certification pathways. So go back up to the top and click Salesforce Developer. Right, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll also see quite a few certification pathways. So we are interested in the administrator, in the basic administrator, since we're now getting started. So click back on Salesforce Administrator. So the Salesforce Administrator has a pathway, scroll down a little, that we can use to study so that we can actually get prepped for exams. So just click on Administrator. And scroll down. And you'll see, yes, go back up a little. Yes, right there. And you'll see prepare for your Salesforce Administrator credential. So that one in the top left-hand corner, yes, it says you'll need about 68 hours to actually get through this study process. Well, it changes to 75 hours and 55 minutes, which is about 76 hours. And if you scroll down a little, the third option is where the actual study pathway starts. So if you click on Salesforce Platform Basics, for every lesson, there's points and a certain amount of time that you're expected to spend actually doing the lesson. So these modules, so just click on Get Started with Salesforce, with the Salesforce platform. And so this is the reader material. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Right. And you have what is called a playground. And the purpose of the playground is to allow you to experiment in a Salesforce environment that doesn't like destroy any organization's data. So this is your Trailhead playground. Click launch. And what it does is that it actually creates a Salesforce environment so that you can actually operate in that environment. You could experiment. And most importantly, obviously, is that you will have to follow the instructions from the lesson in order for you to get through the lesson. And once you get through the lesson, so this as it's loading, this is what the actual Salesforce environment looks like. And once you get through the lesson, you can check your challenge and gain your points and then move forward. So once it's finished loading, okay. So this is what a Salesforce environment looks like. Yeah, allow it to send notification. And on the top right-hand corner, I could just identify some things really quick. Top right-hand corner, there's like a notification bell, and next to it, there's a settings icon, a gear icon. So you're actually gonna go there a lot of times. Yes, click on it. Yes, so that's your setup and your service setup. And if you click on setup, you're going to see something really quick. It will carry you to the settings. And here you have your home for your setup and your object manager. And on your left-hand side, you'll find uh, a quick find text box that would allow you to search for like different objects and different settings that you can actually find in the setup. Don't worry, the instructions will actually say every time what you need to search and when you need to search. I'm just getting you familiar with what the environment looks like. And if you go back to the first tab, oh, you also have your object manager, sorry, which is all the objects. So click on object manager, and that's a list of all the objects that Salesforce has, account, activity, etc., etc. And you will most likely have to interact with some of these and make some changes to some of the settings and so on in some of these objects. And go back to the first tab, or the second tab, I should say, that has, yeah. And on the top left-hand side, you have like your interaction with data and other packages that might be installed. You see the 9 dots in the top left-hand side. Click on it. And here you have apps that are already installed on this platform. And if you install any new apps, or if you have more than what's actually available in the quick options, you can actually see them there. And you can also obviously do a search for what might be needed, but don't worry, the instructions will in the instructions will also tell you what you need to search and where you need to find it and so on. Okay, so we go back to the instructions and at the first tab. And when you finish with a lesson, once you follow all the instructions, you click launch, you follow the instructions, you come back, you check your challenge. Once you check your challenge, what Salesforce to do is that it would recommend a next lesson for you to do. Now, because you're actually following the trailhead, you should not go to a next recommended lesson. You need to go back. So click back on this web page. And you would follow the next lesson until you finish all the lessons in this module. And then when you go back again. Once you completed all the lessons here, you will scroll down. You'll do a next module and the next module until you finish all the modules. So scroll all the way to the top. And then lastly, before we leave, on the next to the 75 hours and 55 minutes left, you're going to see the percentage of completion that you've done based on the lesson that you've completed. So thanks for following along, and I hope to see you study in Salesforce as quickly as possible.